Hello, my beautiful rainbow people. Welcome to Camp Out for Freedom, Countdown to 420. 10 days to go. 10 days to go until my first attempt to make the prophecy of Israel real, to fulfill it. And I'm doing so by staging a camp out protest and solemn assembly to call upon the ancient God of Israel, the great aliens. And I started this endeavor in 1979. I had no clue what I was doing. In fact, I didn't really know what I was doing until the last 15 to 20 years. And then, since then, I have worked towards this event, staging a repeat of the Exodus of Moses. Now, this all came about because of a book that I put together. I can't say I wrote it because it was written by the prophets of Israel. What I did was I found a passage in the Old Testament that asked the question, who will put this in order? And so I took it upon myself to do so. And when I was finished, I found a set of instructions that I was uniquely qualified to undertake. So I did. And that has led me here. Because the instructions set up this situation of this camp out for freedom, where I literally walk in the shadow of Moses, standing up for my drug-using people the way Moses stood up for the people of Israel. Where Moses went to the Pharaoh and said, "Let my people go," my intention is to hold this camp out protest, to protest all the different reasons why America is a problem, and to demand the freedom of my drug-using people. Because just as the Israelites were persecuted without a reason, the prophecy of Israel says that we, the drug users of America and the world, have been persecuted without a reason. In fact, we didn't even exist as a people until the war on drugs made us into a people by separating us from the rest of society, making us outcasts. And we have been subjected to the same kinds of oppression that the Israelites were subject to when they were enslaved by Egypt. We have, it's like our children are taken from us, our possessions are taken from us, our lives are taken from us, our freedom is taken from us. We are made to toil for a less than living wage so that the elite can lord it over us. And that's not good. And it needs to end. And so I have taken it upon myself to set in motion the Camp Out Strike for Freedom on 420 of this year. It's my first attempt. Now, I don't claim to be perfect. I don't claim to be divine. I don't claim to be anything other than a pot-smoking hippie that can't have kids, loves to sing, and wants to end the pain and suffering of people on planet Earth. And this is my means to do so. Now, my objectives are multifold. I want to gather my people together as a people to give us solidarity, unity, as one nation, under God, if that's the way you want to say it. If you don't believe in God, that's fine too. Because I'm talking about aliens. I'm not talking about Jesus Christ or any of the religious connotations of God. I'm talking about the scientific alien beings that fly around in UFOs. I believe, based on my studies and my interactions, my telepathic interactions with them, that they are the ancient gods of the earth, come down to us as a grace. The same culture, the same race. But just like us, they have a lifespan. And so they're not the exact same beings that our ancestors knew. They're generations older. They're several generations removed. So I have instituted this ancient um, prearranged signal, so to speak. When the people who use drugs get together in their tents and walk away from their nation that oppresses them and call upon the gray telepathically in a solemn assembly, then and only then will the gray aliens land and return to the interactions with humans. That is my hope for 420, that we start this process. Now, I'm not expecting an entire nation of potheads to show up. I would love to have that happen. That would be awesome. But if I can just get enough disgruntled Americans, whether they get high or not, to show up and go camping, to protest all of the different bullshit that's going on, and to do it as a nation, to address all of these issues at once, and, to stage this grand experiment. And this is literally the experiment. I found in the prophecy a set of instructions that I followed. It said, if you stand up for your drug use in a court of law, go to prison, write a book, publish it, and gather your people to their tents, following in the footsteps of Moses, then we will come when you hold a solemn assembly. So I have been working towards that making that happen since 2007, when I first opened the Temple of Zion and enacted the prophecy. And I have to give it to the grave, or God, if you will. Everything foretold in the prophecy has either happened, is about to happen, or is happening. And by that I mean my staging the camp out strike. And human nature itself lends credence to the events that are foretold, because humans will do exactly what the prophecy predicts that they will do, because it predicts that 2/3 of the population will reject what I'm doing. They will follow their pre-existing religious beliefs or lack of religious beliefs and think I'm crazy. They will ignore me, they will shut me out, they will not bother. But that's okay, because I only need that third. That's the third that are projected to go to believe. And so the third of us that are to believe, are to survive, are to ensure the survival of humanity and to create a new society that, with the help of the aliens, that will ensure peace and prosperity for humanity for the foreseeable future. It's a big dream. But all I have to do to find out if it's true is to stage this camp-out strike and solemn assembly. But I'm the kind of person that I don't put all my eggs in one basket. I believe that if you want to succeed, you have to have not just a plan, but you have to have multiple plans, contingency plans. I can't guarantee that the Gray will land. That is up to the Gray. All I can do is set the stage as I perceive it from the ancient instructions that were left to us. That's my experiment. Will the Gray land if we invite them according to the prophecy? But even if they don't land, we have real problems in America that need to be addressed. And it's obvious that the government is not addressing them. Now, they're making a good show of it. Biden is trying really hard. But the very fact that no Republican will even try ensures failure. Now, the only way that we can conceivably save America is to force the government officials to negotiate, to compromise, to become functional again. And the only way to do that is for the citizens that elected them to show in force that we're done with their crap. And a strike is the best way to do that. We have dire problems in this country that are not being addressed. And it's because of the existential problems with America. The corporate way, the police mentality, money, politics. All of these things need to be addressed direly and now. And, it's like even if Biden succeeds in all the things that he wants to do, America cannot go forward politically the way it is. The Republicans have to yield and learn to compromise with the Democrats, or America will fall apart. So I propose that we, as Americans, go camping in protest of the idiocy that is American politics. Let's force them to negotiate, to work together. Or let's brainstorm a new way to do things. Now, I have a set plan of a new form of government that I believe was given to me by the gray aliens. And I'm hoping it feels right. It seems logical. But I'm open to negotiate. Because compromise is what makes unity work. And there's no compromise in America at this time. So, for those of us who still have the ability to compromise, I suggest that we all compromise on a campout. We're all stressed. We're all cooped up. We're all sick of the isolation. We're all sick from the bad food, from the bad air, from the stress. If we go pitch our tents and just hang out and chill, have a good time, relax, enjoy ourselves in the open air, we can force the government to work together to solve all the problems that bring us to the campout. And by doing it in a single place, as a single nation, we show our unity to the broken, divided government. Only through a show of unity can the American people force the dysfunction that is Washington, D.C. to remember how to compromise. Because both the Republicans and the Democrats need to work together. Let's go camping and force them to do just that. Join me in 10 days in York, Nebraska so that we can go camping and say to hell with this dysfunctional America. Fix it or find another way. I love you too much to say goodbye, so I'm going to say later now. My name is Zaya. Later.